Alright, I'm going to show you how to print 5 to 6 figures a month through Instagram stories. A lot of people don't have this optimized, and it's a reason why so many people lose so much money. It causes them to get way less leads than they could be getting. See, a lot of people are only doing stories and they only not really take it as seriously. It's more so a thing for daily life documentation and the occasional CTA. But here's how you can actually optimize this to convert 1% of your total Instagram audience into leads per story you post. Basically, what's worked best for me and several others for maximizing the ROI on your already existing traffic and audience is pretty much having a strategic approach to those Instagram stories that's automated for you. Because a lot of people are focusing on getting more views and getting new traffic, but a lot of people don't optimize what they already have as far as the conversion side of things. This is where the strategy really comes into play. People like Nathan Nazareth and even myself have actually implemented this strategy, and none of these results are hypothetical. It's pure math and data. So this is a regular story CTA structure, and as we can see, this was posted for a high ticket offer, and out of a 23K audience, around 10% of that total audience count was reached here, and it received 13 replies out of 2,450 people, which is a 0.5% reply rate. This is the standard conversion rate for a lot of info product owners and high ticket sellers. Now, let's view the revenue recapture story CTA structure. This was posted for the same exact high ticket coaching offer, and out of a 23K audience, it 3x'd to 30% of the audience count being reached. And no, this wasn't via doing a close friend strategy. This was an actual method that I implemented and found out that caused the reach to 3x on the stories by getting way more replies than usual. This received 270 replies out of almost 7,000 people, which is a 4% reply rate out of the total amount of people who viewed the story CTA. To put that into perspective, that's an 8x difference in the amount of leads that were brought in without doing any extra work, just doing things more strategically, and it's also all automated. Then pretty much after you do this, all that's left to do is let the automation collect each person who replies their emails, and your sales team will pretty much take care of the rest. And it's all plug and play without you needing to even think about it. You get to pretty much triple the amount of revenue you're doing without changing a single thing or doing any extra work, which is all backed by the data shown below. As we can see, strategic stories, and this is regular stories. You may still make money with regular stories, but this makes the whole process way better and converts way more people into leads. So let's talk about the money story strategy. Essentially, phase one is pretty much getting people more invested into your brand and ready to buy now. Like get quick action takers and such. You're going to be able to test insights on your stories that can be repurposed for your reels and get a quick win almost immediately with these stories. So, how with this easy follow system, look for any high ticket seller. So first, there's two options for turning 1% of your total audience into leads per story. One is with the insight-based lead magnet for the first story. After that, we'll pretty much just post a clear insight about either personal experience or outcomes you've had that your skill or thing you teach has helped you obtain, and or student experience, observation, the same thing. Then you create an insight out of that experience, and afterwards we will have a CTA for them to sign up to your newsletter or watch your YouTube. And it's even easier than it sounds. Like, simply put, you just need to collect an idea for the lead magnet that makes sense for your offer and leverage the lead magnets that you actually currently have. For example, here's a recent one I did for my offer where I help people with their content. This is basically the story right here, and this converted 200 people, or almost 1% of my total audience, into leads almost immediately. Like, replies were coming through like crazy. And essentially, you will come up with the idea for this lead magnet and put everything together. For example, if you sell a make money online offer like Amazon FBA, drop shipping, anything like that, TikTok shop, you would pretty much give a 3-step insight on how people can improve their strategy to either start doing what you teach or to become better and get more profitable at that thing. Usually I'd put together a Notion doc and we would use the exact same template that I used above, and people will begin to reply to this in order to receive the gift. The automation will collect their emails, and afterwards you can have your appointment setters go through the replies and send them their gift, but they will ask the prospect would they like to get on a call to go over some steps on how they could best implement the information in the lead magnet. And then pretty much after a bit of qualification, leads from your appointment setters will pretty much go to the call, and obviously your closers just have to collect the cash. And the way we do this, the leads are pre-sold on what you're already doing, so you get even higher close rates with this exact stories method. And this has completely booked my calendar for weeks with high quality leads. And implementing this would mean converting 1% of your total audience. So let's just say you have 100K followers. And these people, usually if they follow you, they're already interested in what you have to offer, and they already have context about you and what you're already selling. So if we convert 1% of that, like I've shown you, which would be 1,000 people, you can see how this would generate you so much more revenue than what you're actually doing right now. This works because it essentially ties in everything you tell them and everything they've seen from your student experiences, your experiences, all this stuff, as far as getting their dream life that they actually want. And that dream outcome speaks to this. The negative thing they'd avoid is great because people are more motivated when it involves avoiding a pain or a loss or something like that. And the FOMO is important for people to take action quickly. A FOMO component would be, let's just say, a one-on-one call bonus, price increase, cap spots, lack access bonus, anything like that. And this ties in everything to increase traffic conversions and generate deals closed for your offer. And again, your close rate will be high because of the specific way we do this. And essentially is going to pretty much be them just basically asking you, where do I buy? How do I buy? How do I pay? That's pretty much how these things go after you actually implement the system, because the leads will be pre-sold on what you're trying to teach them to do. And this easy to follow system will consistently convert 1% of your total audience into leads per story you post. And provided it's done in a psychologically resonating way, just like what I do for my clients, then you're going to absolutely print money, easily an extra 5 to 6 figures a month from this actual method. And below is an example of this, as it also works with short form reels. For example, this is a content CTA where it got around 120K views, around 100K, and got 4,500 leads / followers into the actual audience base with all emails collected. This one was similar with around the same amount of views, literally a few hundred views difference. This got 3,300 followers / leads in with emails collected. And essentially, this is thousands of new leads and followers per video with mostly cold traffic. All you need to do is run the actual sequence to actually speak to these people and actually get them essentially trust you, and then this will literally print money for you right here. This is another example. This got 300,030 accounts reached, and it generated 12,000 leads from that 300K view video. To put that into perspective, if you average, for example, around 10K views per reel, that's an extra 400 leads per reel, all automated for you. So you could clearly see how this would print you a ton of money by just implementing this method. Now, if you want me to set this all up for you, I only charge a percentage of upside I generate you, and we're going to essentially get you to printing way more money through the existing actions that you already do. You're not going to have to work anymore. In fact, you're going to have to work, you're actually going to work less than what you're doing and print 3 times more. This is essentially what I do as far as a revenue recapture method. And we're going to be able to get you to your actual goals to where you can print a lot more money in the high ticket space.